If you haven't perfected your pie crust yet, this is the time to do it. To create a flaky crust, you want the butter to be cold so it doesn't melt into the dough. You want little chunks of butter throughout. To keep the dough as cold as possible, I like to put my flour and sugar in the food processor bowl and then freeze the whole bowl while I cube my butter. Add the cube butter to the bowl and freeze it for another few minutes, and then I measure out the cold water and place that in the freezer as well. Once the dough has come together, you're going to wrap it up and put that back in the fridge for a couple of hours. This will allow the gluten to relax a little and keep the dough cold so you can easily roll it out. And then once it feels nice and firm, if you leave it overnight, you're going to have to let it sit out for 10 minutes or you won't be able to roll it out. But once it feels nice and firm, you're going to roll out just the bottom crust and leave the top crust in the fridge. And then you're going to put it in your pie dish, and you want to refrigerate that or freeze it until it's solid before baking. So you don't want to put a soft pie crust into the oven or it's just going to shrivel up. You want it to be completely firm before it's going into the oven. And then when you're baking the pie crust, you're always going to bake at 350 or above to ensure that the butter doesn't leak out and the pie crust doesn't shrivel. If I do like an apple pie with a top crust and a bottom crust and it's not par baked, I do about 350 because it's in there for over an hour. But if you're blind baking, I usually go for about 400 or 425 because this is going to help it hold its shape even better.